Hi friends, my name is Nishantha. I am a dyslexic science teacher teaching here in Southern California. In this video, I'm going to show you my system for reading the internet. So I just started using this system pretty recently, but it's already had a huge impact. It's made me so much more efficient, and it's made like doing internet activities and reading articles and blogs and websites a lot more fun. So what I'm about to show you in this video might be a game changer for you, especially if you're just reading randomly or if you're just kind of going through websites without really having a system. This will make you so much more efficient. So I structured this video into two parts. In part one, I'm going to give you the deep dive method, which is the system that we're going to be going over today. And in part two, I'm going to give you the 4 steps or the 4 levels in the deep dive method that's going to help you become a lot more efficient when you're reading the internet. So this video is a part of the Dyslexia Masterclass series that I'm doing right here on YouTube. So if you like this one, please check out the playlist. I'll put a link into the cards and the description below. The deep dive method or system. So basically, think of the internet kind of like the ocean. Just like in the ocean, the really cool things, the really important stuff, the sunken treasure is not found on the surface. It's usually found on the deeper levels. In the ocean, it's found on the ocean floor. Now, you as a reader on the internet, think of yourself as like this deep diver, treasure hunter type character. That person, that deep diver, only has a certain amount of oxygen in their tank, just like a reader only has a certain amount of focus, attention, and energy to read. So when this deep diver, this ocean treasure hunter is going to a spot, he's not or she's not going to randomly just pick a spot and start diving, because that's not a good way to find treasure. What they're going to do is they're going to use a system. Just like a deep diver in the ocean would use a system to find treasure, we're going to use a system to find really good, important things when we're reading. So the only reason a deep diving treasure hunting person would start diving and going closer and closer to the ocean floor and using up their oxygen is when they know for sure that there's something good to find where they're going. So the same thing applies to us. So we're going to use a system, and at each level we're going to expend more energy, more time, and more attention. At the surface level, it's going to be really quick, not that much attention, not that much energy, not that much focus. But as we get deeper and deeper into the reading, the deeper and deeper into an article, we're going to expend more energy, more attention, and more focus. And this is a really good way to do it, because just like a deep diver doesn't have an unlimited oxygen tank, we don't have an unlimited focus tank, attention tank, and especially an energy tank, because as a dyslexic person, we use our energy a lot faster when we're reading. We get tired a lot quicker. So we want to really maximize our system, so that way what we are reading is going to be stuff that's really good. So as we get deeper and deeper into our reading, and at each level, we're going to be using a different tool. And each of these tools is kind of designed to kind of help us maximize what we can get at that level. And the really good thing is, we're not going to go deep into most articles, most websites, most blog posts. We're only going to get deeper and deeper if we start seeing treasure in there, start seeing valuable information, start seeing things that we can incorporate into our second brain, our productivity system, our work, our school, etc., right? So let's jump into the workflow of reading the internet. At level 1, at the surface level, we are starting off with a question, something we're curious about, some concept that we're trying to learn more about, some question that we're trying to answer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and search up whatever it is that I'm kind of curious about, whatever it is that I'm trying to learn, whatever it is I'm trying to read about on the internet. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to boost up my metabolism, because I'm kind of getting out of shape and I want to get back into shape. So that's the thing that I haven't really done much research into. So this is something that I'm curious about. So I'll just go into Google and I'll start just type in metabolism, how to boost your metabolism, or something similar to that. And what will happen is Google will give me a bunch of search results, right? I'm not going to go into each of the websites individually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on each of them and I'm going to open it up into a new tab. You can do that by hitting Shift and clicking on the page, and it'll open up into a new tab. By the end of this search, I'll have like 10 to 20 different tabs that are open. So that's part 1. Now, after those tabs are open, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly skim like the page. I'm not actually going to read it. I'm just going to kind of skim it, look at the pictures, look at the links, look at the articles, look who wrote it, things like that. And I'm going to start eliminating websites that are like kind of not on topic, maybe too complicated or too simple, not written for a person like me. Maybe it's written for like a person who has like like some illness, or a person who is like working on doing a crazy thing, like maybe running a marathon or something like that. I'm going to eliminate all those cases that it's not related to me, and then I'm going to be left with like 10, maybe 5 to 10 different websites. And at that point, I'm going to go into the next level. And in the next level, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to skim again the articles that are most interesting to me, but this time I'm going to actually read some of the things that jump out at me. And I might just read it using my eyeballs, but most likely I'm going to use an app called Speechify. Now, Speechify is a really cool app. It's available on your Mac and on your iPhone. And what it does is it turns any website kind of like into an audiobook. And a really, really cool thing about Speechify is it'll let you increase the speed. So I usually listen to Speechify at around 400 to 600 words per minute, and I can read about maybe 100 to 150 words a minute. So now I'm reading like 4 times the speed that I would naturally read, and I'm able to skim things really fast. All you have to do in Speechify is you just have to highlight an area and then hit Alt twice, and it's going to read that to you. And the cool thing is I'm going to be staring at the screen while I'm doing it, so it also gives me kind of practice at decoding words, and I'm able to do that process really fast. And I'll do that to all my other websites. And if any of the websites that I have is not good, not interesting, too much information, too little information, just not helping me get to my answer, I'm just going to close that tab. Hopefully by the end of this, Speechify filtering system, I'll have like 2 to 3 websites now that I can kind of focus in and go even deeper into. All right, so at this point, I'll have like 2 to 3 websites that are pretty high quality that I want to dig deeper into. So now I'm going to be using more of my oxygen tank, because I'm going to be putting more time and focus into these, a couple articles. We started with like 20 different websites. Now we're down to like 2 or 3. So now we can start focusing in and giving more attention to these different websites. So when I'm down to like 2 or 3 websites, what I do is I send those websites to an app called Instapaper. It's a service. There's a Chrome browser to it. All you got to do is install the Chrome browser, and then once you hit it, it'll send it to like this app that's on my iPad. And what I do with my iPad is I'll get out my Apple Pencil and I will start highlighting the most important parts of that article. And I'll do that to the rest of the articles as well. And then what'll happen is I'll have some highlights of the most important things from those articles. And then I'll use another service called Readwise, which aggregates all those highlights into a document that I can use to kind of go back and like figure out the most important jewels, the most important treasures that I got from reading these 3 articles about metabolism, for example. Now, that's the 3rd level. And on my 4th level, this doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes I find like a blog or an article or a website that I'm like really fascinated with. Not just the article itself, but the reader's voice, or like his background, or her way of looking at the world, her mental model at like breaking this thing down. Whenever that happens, what I do is I want to download more of her ideas or his ideas, so I'll send that to Feedly, which is my RSS reader. And what that will do is it'll kind of bookmark that website for me, kind of like when you're on YouTube and you subscribe to a channel. It'll kind of, whenever that person writes, whenever that person publishes a new video, you'll kind of see what they made. The same thing will happen to websites, right? So like whenever this person writes a new article, it'll kind of send it to my Feedly RSS, and I'll have the option of reading it right when they publish it. So that's my whole system. I hope you guys liked it. Just to recap everything that we talked about. So when you're reading the internet, it's kind of like the ocean. You want to go ahead and use your limited resources to get to the buried treasure on the deeper levels, but you can't use those resources indiscriminately. You want to really discriminate on the type of readings, the quality of the reading. So you want to use a system like the one I just showed you, where you're kind of eliminating things as you're getting deeper and deeper into articles. And then also you want to extract value from those articles by highlighting and keeping those and putting them somewhere. Now, what I do is, when I have a lot of good highlights, what I do is I create a section on my second brain, and all those good highlights, all that treasure will go into my second brain, where I can use it at a later date. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Friends, the YouTube recommendation engine is an AI system. It's an algorithm that shows you videos that it thinks you like to watch. So if you like to learn how to leverage technology to become smarter, build your personal monopoly, and master your dyslexia, like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you do that, it'll teach the YouTube algorithm that you like videos like this one. And then YouTube will start showing you the rest of the series on your homepage. So if you don't want to miss out on this opportunity to master your dyslexic mind, like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you.